Hey everyone, welcome back to Arctic Mongoose Aviation. So in today's video we're going to continue the Autopilot for Beginners series. This time we're in the Cirrus SF50 Vision Jet and we're going to be using the Garmin 3000. I'm going to show you how to use the heading mode to control the heading, the alt mode to manage altitude, and how to handle smooth climbs and descents. So if you're new to Autopilot or stepping up from the Cessna 172, which I covered in my last video, I think this is the perfect next step. It's going to be for beginners, so you'll be fine if you're coming straight into this jet. Um, so let's go, let's jump in the cockpit and let's get started. So here we are cruising along, 150 knots, 12,000 feet in the Grand Canyon. We want to turn left, so what do? On a PC, we can do Shift and 4, get down to our buttons, make it easy. Not sure how you do this on a PlayStation. Shift 1 here, Shift 2, Shift 3, Shift 4, back to Shift 1, Shift 1 again, back to the cockpit. Yeah, so Shift 4, we've got our autopilot button, and we've got our heading button here. So let's have a look what we want to do. Shift 1, let's change our heading. Here's our heading here. I've got it set up so I can use my joystick to change the heading. Alternatively, you can just adjust this. There we go. With the scroll. So I'm holding down left button and scrolling up on my mouse, up or down. But I like to use my joystick. With some extra buttons there, just makes it easier. So what are we at? Let's change our heading. So we're currently going 1, 2, 3. Let's go left. I don't know. Let's change it to go to 32 degrees. So we set that to 32. Now we want to turn autopilot on and put it into heading mode. So let's have a look. We can click heading mode now, nothing will happen because autopilot's off, but we've got this green thing here saying heading mode. Now let's turn autopilot on and look, we'll turn left towards the heading of 32 degrees. And once we get there, we'll level out. Let's see that. There we go, straightening out onto 32 degrees. So you can see here in the display, we've got autopilot on AP and we're in heading mode. So we can change the heading again. Let's go back to due east, 90 degrees, and we're changing again. So that will get to 90 degrees, and then we'll straighten out. There we go, straightening out as we come closer to 90 degrees. So that's it. That's how you turn left and right with autopilot in this Cirrus SF50 jet. Okay, so let's look at holding our altitude using autopilot. So we're currently flying at 16,800 feet. So if we want to hold that altitude or use autopilot to hold it, what do we do? So we have this alt hold button. If we press that now, it's going to store this figure in its memory. There we go, 16,830. So that means nothing at the moment, but that's the value that we're going to hold at. So if we turn that off, press it again, it's now 16,970 because we were at that height when I pressed it. Try again, turn it off, turn it on, 17,110. So let's hold it at 17,110. So we're on Alt Hold, turn on autopilot, and it's going to take us back down and hold us at that value. Watch. There we go. And that's holding us there, 17,110. Okay, let's show you that again. Here we are, 17,000. Let's press Alt Hold, 1760. Autopilot on. That's going to hold us at 1760. Alt. Okay, next up, let's change altitude. So we're currently cruising along altitude hold mode at about 16,000. We've set our target altitude to 11,000. How did I do that? Go to Alt Select and change it. 11,000. Let's set it to 12. Okay. I actually have a button on my joystick which I use rather than messing around with that. Select and all. So we want to get to 12,000 feet. How do we do it? So autopilot is on and we're in alt hold mode. So let's have a look. Let's turn alt hold mode off. Nothing's happening because we've switched to pitch mode. So we're matching this pink flight director. So we're still going level. So let's show you what pitch mode is all about. So you can see here, I'm just hovering over here. Ignore it says vertical speed control. We're at 0.6 degrees. If I hold it and I can change the pitch, let's change it all the way to 10. And we can see we're now dropping because we're following this flight director. We're going to go at 10 degrees down. Yeah, can't really see, but we are going down. And we're in pitch mode, but because we set our target altitude for 12,000, as soon as we get to that, it's going to level out. And you can see here, alt mode is in white, and that's going to go green when we get close to our target altitude. Sorry, messing on there. So let's watch that go green, and we're going to then hold at 12,000. So that pitch mode, that of 10 degrees is determining how fast we're going to drop. As you can see here, we've got close to 12,000 now, and it's actually going to pull us back up because alt hold mode has now become active. And we're going to level out now at 12,000. And of course it works in the opposite way. Let's set us to go up to, I don't know, 14,000. Let's look at our pitch. Let's turn off alt hold mode first. Yeah, so we're back onto pitch mode. And this time we're going to go, we're going to go up, which is actually the negative pitch. Up by 10 degrees. So you see, up to 10 degrees. And we're going to climb now until we get to 14,000. Now just watch your speed. This jet actually has a auto throttle. See, auto throttle is actually off, but it does kick in when you get a bit too slow. Maybe we'll cover how that works in another video, but I need to figure it out first. But yeah, you'll see, just watch your speed, but you see now we're getting to the 14,000 that we set to, and alt hold mode has now gone back on, and we're going to hold at 14,000. So that's how you go up and down using pitch mode. Now where would you use pitch mode? Let's just look at a takeoff here. Take off, aim, pointing the nose at about 10 degrees, as you can see there. Click Autopilot on, hold it at 10. As soon as the pink arrow gets there, you can let go. So pitch mode is on, Autopilot's on, and I'm just now holding at a climb of 10 degrees. That's the only time I really use it, so I just thought I'd show you that quickly. Okay, back to the flight. Now let's look at flight level control for going up and down. So flight level control is this button here, and using that button, this dial, we will change the target speed that we want to use while we're going up or down. So for example, let's turn off alt mode. Let's press it. You see it says 245. So we're now going to get to my target altitude here. Let's set that to 10,000. And it's going to go to a maximum of 245 knots to get there. On a minimum, in fact. So you see here it's set to 245. It's going to get to 245, and then it's going to raise the nose a bit to slow us down. Basically, it's trying to make us descend at 245 knots. Okay, slows us down by raising the nose a bit, trying to keep to about 245 while getting us to 10,000 feet. Okay, now 245 is quite fast for climbing. So if we were to increase the target altitude so that we want to climb, it's not going to be able to do it. So what we need to do is change this target speed. So go back here. See here, we can't scroll. I'm trying to scroll on that now, and I can't do that. And the reason is here. We want that on man. So switch that to man. And now we can change our target speed. So I'm going to want to climb. So I'm going to set the target speed 160. I'm going to set my altitude to 15,000. And we're going to climb now to 15,000 at 160 knots. So because we're going a little too fast now, it's going to point the nose up until we get to that 160, and then it's going to level out a little bit and try and keep us going at 160 knots while we're climbing. So let's see that happen. So it's still way above 160, so it's still pointing us up and increasing the angle actually. So once we get to 160, it's going to drop the nose down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's going to try and hold us at 160, get that angle of the plane just right to keep us going 160. Let's change it quickly. We're going to drop it. So that means it can point the plane a bit higher up. So the plane goes up a little bit, points up a bit, as it tries to now climb at 147. There we go, find about 147 and drops the nose a bit to keep us there. Okay, so that's flight level control. Let's show you one more time. Well, this time we'll set the target altitude. Let's go down to 10,000. So now it's going to try and drop us at 10,000, but keeping us at 147. So that's not going to work because we're already going 159, 160. So let's change that. We can increase that. Let's get up to 180, 182. Okay, so it's going to point us down, and we're going to descend at a speed of 182. It's going to try and make us descend at a speed of 182. So here we are, we're getting to 182. Low, it's going to point the nose up a bit just to keep us at that 182. Okay, let's go a bit faster, get it right up to 221. puts us down. Speed up because of gravity. Aiming for that 221. So that's getting us there a little bit quicker. Go, coming up to 221, starts to level out. Just trying to find the right point to point the plane at, so touch over 5 degrees there. And that's going to keep us going down towards that 10,000. Let's increase it a bit more. 238. So we've got 238 now, so it's pointing us down a bit more. Trying to get there that little bit quicker. And it's going to hold us at 238. 240, so it's going to point the nose up a bit, trying to keep it at 238. Okay. Once we get to 10,000, the alt hold, which is currently white, that's going to go green, and it's going to hold us at 10,000. So we'll just watch that. So you see here, this is the vertical speed mode. We're going to come on to that one next. So that's saying we're dropping at 1700 feet per minute. Here we go, altitude hold has now gone to green because we've reached our target altitude. So autopilot's going to level us off. Okay, so that's flight level change mode. Okay, so next, vertical speed mode. So we're cruising along at 10,000. Let's change the target altitude to 14,000. It's made no effect because we're in alt hold mode. So let's change that, turn that off, turn vertical speed mode on, and use the dial to pick our vertical speed. We want to go up to 14,000 feet. Let's go at a rate of 1500 feet per minute. So 1500 feet per minute is set, and the nose is pointing up until we're rising at that rate. Let's increase it. Let's go to 3000. Back here. So target is we're going 3000 now. There we go. Target. Nose is going up. Notice the speed is dropping because we're pointing a bit higher. And that's going to get us, let's just lower that target a bit, make it a bit quicker. Alt mode is about to come on. So it's going to go to green once we get to our target altitude. There we go. And we're back to leveling out. So let's show you that in reverse. We'll drop down now. So let's set target altitude to 10,000. Let's set alt mode off, vertical speed mode on, and we want to drop, I don't know, 3,000 feet per minute, 2,900. So points the nose down. So we're going at 2,900. Should we go quicker? 5,000 feet a minute. Pointing us even further down. Going a bit quicker down. It's going to get to 10,000. Switches to alt hold mode. And starts to level us off. Okay. Let's go up. Set target to 14,000. 13,000. Turn off alt hold mode. Turn on vertical speed. How fast do you want to go up? 3,000. Up we go. Go faster. 5,000 feet a minute. see what happens. Nose is pointing a little bit up, a little bit further up, and we're getting there that bit quicker. Got to watch your speed though. It's quite a climb. Closes in on 13,000. Alt hold comes on, and we start to level out. All with autopilot. So there we go. That's the basics of the autopilot in the G3000 in this Vision Jet. I've showed you the heading mode, so how to change the heading mode, go left and right, and I've showed you how to change your altitude, go up and down in the 3 different ways. Pitch mode, where you are pointing the nose of the plane at a set level. I showed you vertical speed mode, where you're choosing the rate at which you wish to climb, i.e. 1,000 feet a minute, 2,000 feet a minute, and depending on what you set that to, you're going to go, the nose of the plane is going to point to the right angle. And I showed you flight level change mode, where we are setting a certain speed, and you're going to stick to that speed by the autopilot changing the angle of the nose. So 3 different ways to go up and down. Hope this has helped you. Catch you in the next video.